say this. I have no sympathy for a man who finds it to be difficult to be faithful after being in a promiscuous lifestyle, and neither should you. Nobody told you to be promiscuous before the relationship, and nobody made you be monogamous with just her. You don't want her? Let another man have her. Simple. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in her. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught. That was his only time getting caught. That was his only time getting caught. Let's be real. Outweigh all the good that you've done. That one slip up might cancel all the shit that you've done.
I can laugh about this now because I've been in this situation, so that's the only reason I'm making this video. Lord be a thick asshole, because a fence is not doing it right now.
It's time to boss up. Fix your credit, girl, get at it. Get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back fine.
Hey cousins, it's Rina and welcome back to my anxiety-filled life. If you're subscribed, thank you so much for coming back for another video. And if you're new to the channel and it's the first time you're seeing my lovely face, then welcome. And hopefully you join the cousins and, you know, subscribe. That's all you gotta do, just hit that little button. But don't feel pressured, you know, join when you wanna join. Don't worry about it. I had another video planned for this week, but this video was inspired by the one and the only Derrick Jaxn. So let's get into today's video, shall we? If you don't know Derrick Jaxn by now, you should, because it's all over social media at this point. But for those of you that don't know who he is, he's pretty much like a self-proclaimed love and relationship guru. Back in the days, he used to make videos on social media from his car. He still does to this day, I think. And basically, he would just talk about the pillars and pitfalls of relationships. And he kind of like put himself on this pedestal of like what it is to be this like perfect guy in a relationship. And it turns out that he was dirty himself. So his consistency on social media like definitely reached into different heights. Like he has over 1 million followers on social media. He has done TV appearances, he has done books, and so much more. So yeah. Admittedly, I used to actually listen to some of his messages when I was in my earlier college days, but then there was like this little shift and I realized that his messages were a little bit off, and I just felt like he was like pandering to women, and I turned out to be right because his audience is mostly single women. This week, he was exposed by a woman that he was sexually involved with, and this happened years ago, but he was also married. Separated, but still married. Apparently, there were a lot of sexual messages back and forth, sexual encounters in their household, in their marital bed, sexting, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, there were receipts for all his dirty, dirty laundry. But as I was listening to the stories, I'm like, yo, this sounds very, very familiar. And I thought about it. Light bulb moment. Sounds like my ex. When I say that he sounds like my ex, I mean that my ex was the type to give all his girl best friends, hey, you know, advice about their relationships and their boyfriends and all of that type of stuff. And I'm just like, boy, if you don't, how are you giving your friends advice when you're a liar, a compulsive cheater, emotionally abusive, narcissistic, and so much more? Like, sis, he was warning you about dudes like him. But my dumbass loved him anyways, so, you know. It is what it is. I'm a clown for that, for sure. And I might sound a little bitter in this video, but you'll understand why once I get there. So here are the 5 things I learned from dating a cheater. So the first lesson I learned is that when cheaters get bored, they sneak around and they look for a quick fix because 1, they don't love themselves. 2, they're always trying to fill some kind of void. And 3, they're always just trying to self-sabotage even when the relationship is going well. It's in their nature. Back in 2018, I went away for a weekend for my great-grandmother's funeral in Florida. While I was in New York City, still texting my ex with my family, waiting to board for my flight to Florida. He was telling me he misses me, he loves me, all while also being back at our apartment, downloading an app, and meeting up with someone for sex. So yeah. When I returned from my weekend trip, you know, the funeral, I knew something was wrong and my gut was telling me like something was wrong. But like I ignored it because he was like love bombing me that whole time, and I didn't find out about it until like a year later. And I didn't find out from him, like I found out by myself. And yeah, when I confronted him about it, what did he do? He lied and lied again and lied again, and then I showed him the receipts, and then magically his memory came back to life.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
And he confessed. Do you want to guess what his reasoning was for cheating?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
It was because I didn't give him sex before I left. Before my great grandmother's funeral. Make it make sense. Eventually he realized that he wasn't deserving of love. It has to do with his childhood. He's never seen a good example of a healthy relationship, blah, 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 blah. So that was his reasoning for cheating. As much as our environment influences us, and I do believe this, at some point as an adult, you have to start taking accountability for your actions, especially the toxic ones. The second lesson I learned is that if you have to check a person for flirting, sexting, telling your partner that they have a crush on them, or even like them sending pics to your partner, do not argue with that person. They don't owe you anything. Like, your partner is the one that should be saying no, that should be rejecting that person. So yeah, first of all, I just want to say that my ex did not even believe that sexting was considered cheating. Because it wasn't physical. Yeah, I know. Matter of fact, let's get into a quick story time. Y'all remember Annabelle from my other story? When I tell y'all that I video chatted this female from, and no, I'm not gonna call her a woman, I'm gonna call her a female, from his phone, I never felt more stupid than I did that day. I almost like wanted to punch a whole wall because I realized, like, what am I doing this for? Never done this before. But I'm just so glad I could laugh about it now because, like, what was I thinking? So basically, Annabelle was a close high school friend, and he had reconnected with her in like 2017, like during our breakup. So even though they remained close after they reconnected, I did not hear about this girl until 2019. Never even knew about her, never heard about her. He never talked about her, ever. Never invited her over. I don't know if he was embarrassed of her or what, because we used to host all of his friends at our place, like for holidays, events, get-togethers, and general game nights. So I was just like, why am I just hearing about this girl if y'all known each other for like a long time? That was already sus to me. Anywho, remember that story time I told y'all about how he cheated on me the weekend before my birthday? So literally that weekend we were discussing couples therapy because we were going through it. Like, through it. Don't even just skip past the part where I'm talking about couples therapy because don't worry about it. So even though we were talking about couples therapy that weekend, I went to bed. He stayed up and was game or whatever, and I guess he stayed up until like 4 or 5 a.m. talking to her. But she got tipsy, as she always did. It wasn't the first time, and she was sexting him or whatever, and she convinced him to download, or what was it, activate vanish mode on Facebook Messenger so that they can sext back and forth and so that the messages would delete. But his damn ass didn't do it right, so the messages on his side remained, or her side, I can't remember. But I have the receipts. Mind you, he was sober, so I don't know what the hell he did, but he did it completely wrong, and that's how he got caught. So the next morning, I was in the kitchen and his iPad was on top of the dryer, and a message pops up saying, oh, something along the lines of like, I used my vibrator last night, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. We had fun last night. And I'm like, why would your close friend be talking about her vibrator with you. I'm like, So I ain't say nothing. I was just like, okay. So I went to his iPad and looked at the messages. And then I closed it. When I say this man, like, I think it was later on in the day, like we were about to go food shopping. When I say or was it after? I don't remember. When I say this man swiped his iPad from the driver so quick, like I'm almost said like swipe or no swiping. I'm not kidding, because like that was already sus. But he's stupid, because when I checked on the iPad later, the app was gone. He had took it off so that I wouldn't see the messages, but little did he know I already saw the messages. Dumbass. So the lesson here is check your partner. Don't check the person, because that person does not owe you a damn thing. They can know about your whole existence and not give a damn that, you know, the person is in a relationship. They don't care. They have no self-respect for themselves. Just have enough self-respect to leave, and that's exactly what I did. I left. And some of y'all might be like, oh, you know, they were just sexting, you know, that doesn't really mean anything, like maybe it was just for fun or whatever. But literally the same week that we broke up, the Friday, he literally took her out with his friends, and he kissed her that night, because he told me. So listen, people be saying, oh, we don't have feelings or nothing like that. Lies. The third lesson I learned is that actions definitely mean everything above words. Y'all ever seen that TikTok or that IG reel that goes, if your partner says A and does B, believe B, because A is what they want you to believe and B is what they're actually doing? That is so true. And that was the same truth in my case. He was always talking about taking initiative and pulling his weight in the relationship, and he would probably do it like temporary for a few weeks and then go back to the same way. So it was like cyclic, like, bruh, when are you gonna get it together? And don't get me wrong, I am definitely flawed. I'm not saying I'm the perfect girlfriend or anything like that. I'm definitely flawed. But the difference between me and him is that I was working on it. So it wasn't just words for me. Like, I was actually put into action. Like, outside of therapy, I was actually working on myself. It's like he would be in therapy and then do no work afterwards. I was just like, so what are you going to therapy for? And that brings me to my fourth lesson. Cheaters will test your limits and see how far they can get away with stuff. Like, they are very manipulative. They will promise you a million things, tell you that they're going to change, and then, you know, you never see any of that come to fruition. They want to see whether you will stay and put up with their BS, or you will actually pack up and leave. And I put up with his BS for a long time and time again. And like, that was my last straw in, what was it, August of last year. And I decided to leave. I actually left before. So like I said, we broke up in 2017 and I left for good, and I was like, yo, I'm not coming back or whatever. But then a year later, I thought he had changed. He had begged me to come back. Literally was like driving to my job, picking me up, because I worked all the way in Long Island. He would pick me up, beg me, and then what? Fumble the bag again. Bro, I was gonna be happy regardless. You could have just stayed out my life. And like, me being an empath, like, I'm very prone to like trying to like fix. I don't even like to use that word in terms of mental health. Like, I was trying to fix him, like, with support and trying to get him help and stuff like that. And then I would push our problems to the side because like I felt like his mental health was more important, so I would put that at the forefront. But the problem is that he would love bomb me a lot after these huge arguments, but never change. So it was like, basically, like, we had fell into a codependent relationship where I was constantly trying to fix him and mold him because I knew he had the potential to be better. He just wasn't putting in the work to be better. But this is not build a man. Like, this is not. It's not. At the end of the day, people are gonna only change for the people that they want to change for. So that wasn't a priority for him, so that was never gonna happen. So had to let him go. Lastly, cheaters aren't happy with the relationship or themselves, so they don't want to let you go and see you be happy doing the same things that you always want to do with someone else, or even just by yourself. They kind of like hold on to you like they can't live without you, but they really can. And that love bombing is not real. But for me, I had to cut that soul tie and just gut him out for good, because it just helped me elevate my mental and physical health altogether. Like, cheaters are basically projects in my opinion, and the more energy they suck out of you, the less that you have to work on yourself and, you know, to keep yourself happy, to build yourself up and stuff like that. So there's like an energy shift. Like it becomes less about you guys working in tandem, but you just completely giving and not getting anything back in return. So that's not really fair. He would always say things like, why do you love me? Why do you stay? You would be better off without me, and that type of stuff. And I was like, after all this time, 6 years, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Honestly, cutting him off in 2020 was the best decision that I ever made, because now I feel like myself again. And it feels great. Like, there was nothing more to say. Like, I didn't need closure, because like I knew he wasn't gonna ever change, and definitely not the person that was gonna ever help change him either. So it was just like, I'm not gonna take you as you are and just keep moving on and keep it pushing. Like that's not what's gonna happen here. So yeah, I just didn't want him to be like, we tried the whole friends thing, but then I realized that he would be a constant reminder of all the pain and hurt that he put me through, and that wasn't gonna be good for my mental health. So yeah, he just had to go. He had to go with no warning. Just blocked him on everything. And obviously I didn't mean to bash him or anything in this video, but like, that's my truth and that's my experience, and that's literally what happened, and no one can deny that, because I literally have screenshots and receipts for days, so no one can ever deny that any of this happened. But yeah, that's my TED Talk, and that's what I learned from dating a cheater. If you made it here to the end, thank you so much for kicking it with me thus far. If you made it here to the end, please leave some heart emojis. Yeah, switched it up on you, didn't I? I didn't really intend to add all those little mini stories, but they kind of like added to the whole lessons learned, because there's like proof behind it or whatever. So I don't know, maybe I'll do more like mini story times in the future while I'm doing like these kind of videos. Like, it literally was supposed to be like bullet in like a quick video, but I feel like this was a very long video. And obviously I'm still like hurt by the situation, and I'm still healing, and I'm still in therapy and stuff like that, but I'm obviously 1,000 times better than I was before, like 6 months ago, because it has been 6 months since my breakup, or more than that. I don't know, it's about, I think it's been more than 6 months. But yeah, I'm still, you know, dating around and stuff like that, and obviously I'm worried about getting cheated on again and hurt, so like I'm keeping the people that I'm dating at arm's reach. There are a few that I really like more than others, but I'm still gonna take everything with caution, because, you know, I'm still working on myself, my goals, you know, just you know, completely feeling like myself again, because I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, send this video to all your friends and family, and yeah, thank you so much for the support as usual. As per usual, please spend wisely, stay safe, and you're doing the best you can. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Young, broken, independent, not broken, not quitting, I'ma get it. Even though I still struggle, I'm sufficient. Like what's up, aiming, how it's business. Believe me, it's finna happen. They call them detours, we call it passion. How many no's you receive? I just stopped counting. So why you still doing it? I'ma cash in the fountain. See this dream dance between my ear canal, lives inside my heart like a future child. Possess the wisdom in between my smile. The world gotta see me, it may take a while. That's okay, it's prepared for. Played a lot of shows I had to pay for. Define the crowd, me, myself, and I, and the DJ and my homeboys. Good things take some time, I'm like, ooh yeah. Patience is a virtue when I'm moving. Looking at my life, it's a movie. Lot of ups and downs, I'm sticking to it. I got the sauce, I got the drip. I make the play, I get the assist. Impossible, it exists. The slow grind made a better trip.